Hi, this is Saintjerome of Crypto Experiences bringing you yet another crypto experience. Today is 3/16/24, the day before St. Patrick's Day. That is why I have green on, and that is why there's green behind me. Now, I'll wear this shirt tomorrow too when I go to church, but I thought it'd make for a good podcast. So, some of you might be saying what I found here hiding. It says, I told you so, Bitcoin. So a lot of you folks did really good on your Bitcoin. I didn't have very much, so I did a little good, but not that great. But some of you are just dancing and jumping around, and wow, you're enjoying. What did we get to? 73,000, right up to that amount. Today I was looking is around 67,000. Still real good, folks. Higher than the previous high. Um, my opinion is formed by my experience, my crypto experiences, and my by a lot of podcasters. I'm very good at synthesizing things, putting things together, and I take a biblical standpoint a lot of times. One person I listen to and glean off some things is Bo Pony in cycles, and you know that crypto is cyclic and history is cyclic. So I think putting this all together, and this is my opinion, this is not financial advice, but I believe we're going to be hovering around here for a while, go up and down, and then I think we have a false crash coming. I think it's going to be pretty severe. But I think then after it hits a certain point and all the newbies jump off and say, why did I ever buy Bitcoin at 73,000? Then I think crypto in general is going to turn around and skyrocket. Now, there's over what? There's thousands and thousands of coins, and I don't think there's that many that are good, but there are some at the top, and they're the main ones that are very good coins. So today I am picking out my what would I have in a crash? Well, this isn't exactly a rehash of previous podcasts I made. I've already done a couple on solutions, different survival currency, but I'm going to go just a little bit deeper this time. So, what would St. Jerome do to get through the next tough times that are coming up? Because soon, well, I think the very first thing on your survival list needs to be this. Sorry about that phone interruption, folks. But what I was saying, the most important thing you can do is have physical supplies that are necessary. Now, the obvious, you need food, you need water. But the most important thing, believe it or not, is shelter. If you're out, if it's freezing cold or burning hot, you need to get shelter first. I guess number one is be able to breathe, but then shelter comes right up there. But then you need to have water within 3 days, and that's pushing it for the human body. Survivalists say you need about a gallon a day. Wow, so that's a lot of water for everybody. So you can store water, you can put different things like liquid oxygen in the water to keep it good for actually for a few years. But if nothing else, you can get water filters and then try to find whatever water supplies would filter easily. Of course, like rainwater or a fairly clean stream or river or even a clear pond. Be careful, there's no chemicals in it. Not all the filters can take the chemicals out. So that's one of the hardest things. Now, I have behind me a picture from this company. I have dealt with them for years. I've dealt with different companies too, um, but I had a little trouble getting a picture. This is a little bit older picture, but it gives you an idea. This country is called forpatriots.com. Now, I don't get anything from this company, just that I know from personal experience that this is a good company. So they're kind of a one shop place to go to get most of your needs. This represents solar power that you can, that's a battery, that's a big battery. It can run several appliances. Now, this is old. They've updated since then, and it's even a much better unit. I'm not sure how many kilowatts it has. It has at least 2 kilowatts. I know that. So that's a pretty big battery. It's going to run several things during the day. They also make little solar cells that can power your phone or small appliances, and those are very good. Um, their big thing they have is you see over to the right, they have packaged food in Mylar bags, and those come in tubs, and those will last up to 25 years. Wow. You need water to reconstitute it. There we go back again to the water. And then you need water filtration. They have a big canister looking filter. Looks kind of like a big old-fashioned coffee pot that will take care of several people. Probably does about 6 to 8 gallons a day. I'm really not sure on the spec, but you can go to their site and look at that. Then they have a little water filter there for a travel pack. It's like a life straw. That's where if the water's pretty clean and no chemicals, you can use that straw just like you're drinking through the water. It'll take care of any bacteria you have. Now, it's hard to get viruses. You have to have a very good filter for that, but it would make most drinking water clean. So what else do you need in that pack? Oh, well, okay. So that gives you food, water, power. And there's other companies besides fourpagers.com, but this is a good one. Matter of fact, Amazon's a pretty good place to go if you go look up specifically, but kind of know what you're getting. Um, if you really think it's going to be long term, you probably want to get some heritage seeds that you can plant yourself, organic, that will, after you plant them, you can harvest the seeds and plant again. Modern seeds are like Terminator seeds. You get them from the big companies. They'll grow like one time. So be careful. You want to get those heritage seeds, and then you can have your own garden if you have to. After food, water, shelter. If it's really bad, folks, you're going to need some self-defense. So what kind of things can you get for self-defense? Now, I know some people are afraid of guns, don't want to use guns. I'm very much a believer in the Second Amendment. So I hope I don't offend you, but yep, my family has been in firearms for years. If you are properly trained and raised properly with firearms, you are a safe person and you are helping other people. The people who go out and do shootings, um, they haven't been raising firearms correctly, and they usually have some kind of drug influence in them, folks. Not the ordinary citizen. So, anyway, enough of that. This is just a picture I gathered that gives some ideas of some of the things you can do. One, of course, is a firearm. So in the middle, we have a revolver and speed loaders, so you can move it, load a little faster. Have a taser gun up above. Now, it depends on your state what they allow. Have some pepper spray and a knife. For firearms, a shotgun can take care of those who can't shoot very well. But I just wanted to give you a word of warning. A shotgun, when you shoot it, has a large spread, and a shotgun, if you're trying to shoot at somebody, be sure there's nothing on the other side of them that you could hurt or destroy besides the bad guy. Shotguns can go through our walls nowadays. Our walls are so thin. Matter of fact, most guns can go through walls. So if you shoot at an intruder and you have a loved one in the other room, you could actually hit them. So you got to be very, very careful with that kind of thing. Now, I'm not going to say who the person was, but somebody who's got a really high office now, uh, and his initials are JB. He told people back before he was in that position, fire a warning shot. All you need, folks, he said, is a double barreled shotgun. The first shot, fire a warning shot through the door. What? He actually said that. So, dang, that only leaves you one shot after that. I hope you don't have 8 people at the same time. So, anyway, you're going to need some kind of self defense. This is just my personal opinion, not advice. None of this is my advice. It's just my personal opinion. This is entertainment. Now, what do you need for cash? What do you need for currency? What do you need for gold? What do you need for silver? So, my opinion, I think in the first couple of weeks after a major crash coming down, people won't realize that the cash is worthless yet because actually, now the most valuable money on this tray, and actually, it's not really money, but fiat would be the metals down below. They will have some value. Just recently, an actual nickel has 7 cents worth of metal in it. I heard there's a millionaire who put $1 million into buying nickels and then took them to a melter, I guess, a refiner, and got all that profit from it. So wow, that's pretty crazy stuff, isn't it? So first thing, cash is going to be king for a short amount of time. But it won't take people long to realize that the U.S. Federal Reserve note is soon to be worthless. Fiat is money with a promise, but that doesn't mean they're going to keep the promise. It's not backed by anything. And that's what our fiat currency is nowadays. Federal Reserve notes are actually a debt instrument. When you take them on, you're taking on debt. This is the eventual receptacle of our fiat currency. It's not backed by anything. It is the trash can. It's going to go in the garbage. So, well, right after a crash, I think it'll take a while for people to realize that, and they'll realize that it's not doing anything. Our fiat will eventually go the way of other fiats. I believe this is Venezuela, and there's just piles and piles of worthless fiat floating around. Matter of fact, it's so ridiculous that I guess you can go down the streets and there's just currency flying everywhere to buy. I don't even know what you can buy with that now. You take like a big old stack and you can get maybe like a bunch of bananas. So at the border between Venezuela and Colombia, the vendors from Venezuela would only take Colombian currency. So that's where all fiat currencies eventually go, and we're getting the end of our cycle. They go into the garbage. According to Wikipedia, fiat money has been defined variously as any money declared by a government to be legal tender. State issued money which is neither convertible by law to any other thing nor fixed in value of terms to any other objective standard. Money without intrinsic value, such as, and this hurts, paper. The term derives from the Latin fiat, let it be done, it shall be. And that's what our currency is now, is fiat. So how do you overcome the fiat? What's next? Well, going back to the original idea of survival currency, we talked about cash. You're going to need some for a while. Now, I'm split between precious metals and cryptocurrency. I both think they have their place. I think it's going to be hard to know exactly which one will be more important. If you want to do business at a distance, if it's possible to do after a crash, then I think you need cryptocurrency and Bitcoin, Litecoin, and the such. And if you're going to do local bartering or trading, and they accept some kind of currency or money, it have to be gold or silver. Now, we'll talk about each one. I'm going to talk about the cryptocurrencies first, since after all, this is cryptocurrencies by Saintjerome. I'm going to give you my personal list of cryptocurrencies that I would have. My list is short. I think most of them are junk. Will go the role of fiat, even though they're not fiat. There's just thousands of them. Like I don't even want to quote some of them, just like ridiculous names and ridiculous stuff. I'll have to say Shiba Inu was good there last week or so. It went up like 200% in a day. And if you moved it off to something else before it fell again, you did good. But yeah, now some wise man made a video a while back that said XRP is gold and XLM is silver. And that wise man, oh, well, I don't know if I'm wise, but that was me. And yeah, there's something to be said that these are ISO 222 compliant uh, tokens, and that's what we're going to be moving into in the future. The SWIFT system is going to die. That is runs our fiat stuff. It goes through so many middlemen, where an XRP and XLM and some others of the ISO 222 compliant tokens can move contracts quickly with trust. It's a trustless thing, and you get what you need on the other side. Now, I have heard that XRP is going to be more like gold and move large quantities and transactions between countries. I heard XLM is going to move smaller transactions, um, probably between like businesses or something. But I don't know. There's other good ISO 222 tokens. Sounds like BRICS nations, Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa, and a host of others coming on board. They already have more than half the world's population, and they're close to half of the world's economics. Yeah. I've even heard that some of our states, like maybe Texas, are applying to go into BRICS. You can do that. Well, Texas folks can pull out anytime and become its own country because it is a country. It's a country that became a state. It was a Lone Star state, and that means it was an independent country for, I'm not sure on the time period, at least a year, I think a couple of years actually. So my number one choice in the cryptos is XRP and XLM. So I think XRP and XLM are going to be part of the new money system that's fighting to come in. However, for pure crypto to crypto payments, I think the best bet we have going right now is the following. The Litecoin. I think Litecoin is as fast as lightning. I've been moving around some different cryptos the last couple of days. Not lots of them again. I've just got a few, but not financial advice, by the way. But my Lightning transactions from Litecoin were lightning. They were super fast. The Bitcoin ones, oh my gosh, it took forever. And the people kept saying, "Did you send your Bitcoin yet?" I go, "Yes, I sent my Bitcoin yet." I didn't want to pay $50 for my transaction fee, so I went at a slower speed, which takes a long time to get there. But Lightning network is the Litecoin is chew. Another thing I like about Litecoin is you can go to the main core wallet and go to Mimblewimble, and you get some Litecoin, and you're going to send it to your friend, and it kind of goes above in another layer above the web and goes over to your friend. And in the meantime, it picks up a lot of extra information and it comes out the other side in his wallet. But somewhere in the middle, it gets lost for anybody who wanted to see what the heck was going on. That's pretty cool. And I hear a Mimblewimble is coming to a mobile device near yours soon. Right now, it's just on the core wallet, but it's coming to a mobile device. So this is my number one crypto for crypto to crypto transactions. Next cryptocurrency, I think is valuable to have because I do think it's going to have a big run up in the future, but first after a crash. So, like again and again, to repeat myself, I believe it's going to run up a little bit now, and then it's going to fall to a very big crash coming down, maybe dropping as low as 20,000, 15,000 again. But then I think it's going to turn around and shoot to the moon and reaching higher levels than ever before. But I find it to be old and dodgy. So even though it's slow and a little bit old and dodgy, it still has a value as a store of value. Value as a store of value. So it does have a lot of merit there, and it's the OG, right, in the coins. It's been around for a long time and it's proven itself to be pretty darn good. Not as dependable as the fork off of the Litecoin. I'll go back to Litecoin again, but yes, I would say I also think a lot of countries are running to Bitcoin. A lot of businesses are running to Bitcoin. We got Bitcoin ETFs everywhere. So I think that's going to drive the price after my crash, I think is coming. I think it's going to drive the price higher than it's ever been. I think, my opinion, only over 100,000. So yes, I think it's good to have some Bitcoin, right, along with your Litecoin XRP and XLM. And as a future investment in crypto to have, I think the dark horse, but has a lot of value, is the Theta family. Now, what Theta is more than anything, yes, it functions like a cryptocurrency, but it is actually a software. What does this software allow you to do? Theta allows you to use extra bandwidth by somebody on their computer or their cell phone or even their television, and it helps to run the internet really quickly through. We're running out of servers, folks, and it kind of makes everybody part of the server and makes the speed of internet real fast. You're going to get rid of this dreaded little thing, the little circle around and around and around, right? Going through. So this is quite a community. It has Theta, the original, and they did things smartly, and they're not going to come under the SEC. They avoid all that, and they have a ton of patents on this technology. Wow. So what's these little orange guys underneath there? Well, that is Theta fuel. If you allow Theta to be used to share your bandwidth, you get reward in Theta fuel. Those are called nodes. There's great big giant validator nodes, and I don't know all of them to list right now, but I know Samsung is one, and I know Google is one. So a lot of very large companies are validator nodes, and you could have your own little node. I have a little bit staked, um, and I was staking on another uh, site that where they took a 4% charge, but then you don't have to worry about your computer being down. They kept their their big apparatus running at all times. So, and now we have splintered off of Theta Fuel to T Drop, Theta Drop, and that is used in NFTs a lot, especially as rewards. So at first you had Theta, and then if you moved your Theta around in a good little way, you were rewarded with some Theta Fuel for free. And then they did kind of the same thing for theta drop. So some of us who were paying attention got a little bit of that. So I didn't get a lot, but I got a little bit, and a little bit for free is good. So um, theta is now a sub $3. It was down as low as about 60 cents here recently, but it had a high of $16. A lot of people bought in when it was about 3 to 4 cents. So those people are doing good no matter what. Um, I should have licked ice cream, as Jay Snip says, when it got to $16, but I said it's going higher. Then it felt like rock. So, but I think this has a lot of potential. Bix Weir, one of my influencers, I don't follow everything he says and believe everything he says exactly, but he's a good input. He thinks theta is going to be fantastic. But he has one thing even more than theta. And that influencer is Bix Weir. He is Mr. Silver. He thinks that has the biggest upside, that and Theta. So those are his two picks, his number one picks. He says, sell your gold for silver. A lot of truth to that. There's going to be a big, huge upside on silver. Silver is so undervalued right now. It's somewhere between 25 to $30. I think the spot price today was about 25.20. And then there's premiums on, say, American Eagles or some of the other sovereign coins that there are. But I think a good item to have during grid down, during a crash, is silver. And I think especially American silver that people might recognize. Now, so I had some Roosevelt dimes, I had some Washington quarters, and then someone was saying on a podcast that they thought that maybe you should be careful and get some of the oldest stuff. So people will, they see a Washington quarter, they may think it's just like a regular quarter now, but these definitely look different for the most part. We still have JFK half dollars, but the Morgan dollar, I see the the Liberty halves. We see the eagle on the back, and that's one of my favorite coins, by the way. The Mercury dimes. What makes silver here? It has to be a dime, a quarter, a 50-cent piece, or a dollar, 1964 and below. After 1964, then went bimetal. Now, some of the candy dollars, and I can't remember the year it cut off, had 40% silver at that time. And then they also had some silver, I believe, in the Eisenhower dollar came out during the bicentennial year. I don't know much about that either. And I know war nickels that were made out of silver instead of nickel, because nickel was more valuable in the war at that time. But silver is running down, and so much as the monetary value is its industrial value. I am hearing that the solar panels are going to be made next year, going to be twice as much as this year, and that they themselves will take most of the world's mine supply of silver, just solar panels. That's not counting all those Teslas. That's not counting all our flat screen TVs. Silver makes all those things work, folks. You don't have silver, you don't have it. So, what will happen when silver gets a couple $100 or more per ounce? I believe it's going in that direction. I'm not sure how soon, but if we have a crash, it may go pretty soon. So um, you can have a dime, and right now your barter value is about $2. So that's handy. If you had gold's got value, but let's just think about this a second. You have an ounce of gold, and you want to go buy a carton of eggs, a gallon of gas. That ounce of gold is 2,180, $200. Hard to divide. After I show you a little more silver, we'll talk about something that takes care of that. Well, my personal opinion is that the American silver is the best thing to have in our country. It comes to barter time or trading in, and people really know the value. They're going to understand American silver easily. Now, the most popular sovereign coin I've heard, bullion coin in the world, is our American Eagle. It's a beautiful coin. This is one from, I think, the year 2012 that shows you the walking liberty on the front, which is a lot like the old half dollar, and then the eagle on the back, and they're quite beautiful coins. But they have updated the back of this now, and we have a different type of eagle. It's a flying eagle, and there's something crazy that's on the edge of the new ones. There is a little slot in each of the new coins, and that slot can be used to actually track every single bullion coin by the pattern that's inside of that little sliver. So you see how it has ridges that keeps you from shaving off the silver because people know if you shaved off some silver, trying to steal some silver from a coin. But they have a little slot in there that you can tell it's not a ridge. It goes down instead of up. And so that's pretty unique. And people have been speculating it's going to be almost like a QR code to identify each and every new American Eagle. After American Eagle, I believe, in my opinion, that other sovereign coins would be good to have that people are going to recognize right away. The Canadian Maple Leaf is known to be a very beautiful coin, just beautiful like the American Eagle. You look at the example of the front of one here, it's 9999% silver, whereas some of the other coins don't have that extra nine. So it is about the most pure silver you can get. The gold Canadian maple leaf also is very, very pure. So the back side, or actually the front side of the coin, the older ones are Queen Elizabeth, and the newer ones are for King Charles. But I heard he's kind of ill, so not much longer we may have a new king or queen of Spain, but not Spain, England. And there's other silver bullion coins that are good. Now, like the Austrian Philharmonic. For some reason, I've always liked this coin. I just think that is so cool. So you can get the Philharmonic again in gold or silver. So this is a silver one, and it is 1 troy ounce of silver, just like Canadian Maple Leaf and just like American Eagle. So I like the sovereign coins. There's other sovereign coins like the Chinese panda and the kangaroo from Australia. So and a few more too. So those are pretty neat, and they would be good in barter. But the junk silver is hard to beat for a small tradable coin, and you might be able at that time period trade a couple dimes for a carton of eggs or something like we said before. So both gold and silver have value in a crash coming up. They have kept their value for 5,000 years. People all over the world know what gold is, what silver is, but we do have that problem. Over in the right-hand corner of the screen, you see a 1 ounce American Eagle gold coin. Over on the extreme left, you have be over here for you guys. You have a Krugerrand from South Africa. It has, I believe, a little copper mixed in, a little brass mixed in. It's not pure gold. You have the Canadian maple leaf next to it. So if you want to go into a store and buy something small, well, look underneath the American gold coin, the 1 ounce. Those look like quarter-ounce coins or so. Well, guys, a quarter-ounce coin is worth $600. You're going to take your scissors and cut that down even smaller. So, do you know that just a half a gram of gold is worth about somewhere between 60 to $80? Yipe. How do you get gold that small that's actually feasible to buy small things? Well, there is an answer as of 2019. And this product is legal species tender in Utah, Nevada, Wyoming, South Dakota, and New Hampshire. Wow. And you can barter it any place. So, what is this marvelous new thing? This exciting new thing are gold back currency. Gold back currency has actual gold inside. Now, I did a 24-minute length podcast on gold backs. It was very informative. But here's the short story. So these are Goldbacks. They have been around since 2019. The artwork keeps getting better and better. So the ones that are produced for 2023, 2024, wow, are they sharp. Now you can't get an idea how shiny these are from this picture. I think I'll pull up a shiny picture to show you too. But they come in a 1, a 5, a 10, a 25, and a 50. This is not US dollars. These are gold back divisions. So if you have 5 ones, is as much gold as in a five. If you have 2 5s, it's as much gold as in a 10. If you have 2 10s and a five, is as much gold as in a 25. If you have a 25, a 10 and 3 5s, that's as much gold as in 50. They're totally fungible. The very smallest one has 1/1000th of an ounce. And the very biggest one over there, the 50, you see it's bigger and it's also much thicker feeling to it. The number one's not flimsy, but it's very flexible. The 50 is still flexible, but not quite as much. And that is 1/20th of an ounce of gold. Wow. So just 20 of those is $2,000 worth of gold or so. So these are the goldbacks, and you can use them in Utah, and over 1,000 businesses. They just take them right over. Now, why would a business accept this stuff? Because it's got more value than fiat currency. What's the value of these? The gold is the bill. These are officially coins, and they're legal species tenders in those 5 states. And we're coming to a state near you here soon. I'm hearing the states of Idaho, Texas, Oklahoma, and Arkansas are high on the list to get them pretty soon. Now, Texas gets the goldbacks going. Good night. Look out. They're about 20% of our economy already. And if they could get out the fiat system, wow. A lot of projects going on. I've done several little podcasts on this already. There's going to be a crypto made that's linked one-to-one with goldbacks. You can take your goldbacks and vault them at alpinegold.com. I'll get a referral code down below. And if you vault them there, there's no fees for vaulting them. No fees for vaulting them. You can get a debit card to link to your vaulted account. And if you grow your account $1,000 per month, then you can have no fees on the card. And right now, even if you can't vault that much a month, it's only $10 a month for the use of the card. It is crazy, but if you move your gold backs into vaulting in a little bit of time, so far they just keep going up in value, and it's like you're getting interest but not interest. And lately it's been around 20-25% a year. So goldbacks are pretty neat. And now, as far as the bartering aspect, well, the gold or the value in the one right now is about 462 or so. So that's like $4. So if you take that in, yes, you can buy that carton of eggs with one goldback. Well, and there are businesses out in, like I said, Utah that you can pay off in goldbacks. So the 50 is worth about what is this, about $200, $220 or so. So it's an amazing technology. They take gold, they vaporize it, and they control it with lasers, and they put it on a strip of polymer, and then they put the next strip of polymer and cut them. And wow, they've been tested independently by third parties. One big tester is Mike Adams, the health ranger. And if you have a kiln and little ceramic catchers, you can get these exactly work right. Now, if you're that good old boy goes, there ain't no gold my thing, I'm taking my butane torch. I'm going to torch him and get the gold out. That's not a good idea. Good way to lose your gold. So yes, the gold is in there, been verified. Matter of fact, they usually put 5% more gold than what it says on that because they want to make sure they never short anybody. Let me get a picture of some shiny ones. Well, here is a 2019 held in somebody's hand, and you can tell that it is pretty shiny, and the artwork's even better nowadays. The company that makes this is called Valorum, and they make other souvenir bills that aren't currencies, but they made a currency for Ghana that was gold embedded, and they also made a currency for Cameroon that was gold embedded. So these have serial numbers on top that track them. It says it's not U.S. legal tender, so they won't get any trouble with the federal government. What else does it have? So you look, and it goes up and down instead of horizontal, and all the figures on the bills are women and not men. And then if you look at the back, still very shiny on the back. There's no picture. You just see the gold itself in there. And that is like impossible to copy. Right now, these can't be counterfeited. And if you did try to counterfeit it, you'd have to have a machine that's several $1 million in order to make them. It's much easier to make a fake silver coin than it is try to make a gold back. So right now, they've never been counterfeited. And it doesn't look like they're going to be for a while. Plus, they're going to add other security features. I'm hearing a QR code is going to be coming on them, and it's gonna be hard to copy everything perfectly on a gold back. So yes, you can vault gold backs, and you can link a debit card to them. They got a lot of use. And then on grid down situation, you should be able to convince people that they're good for barter. As I leave you today, let me rehash what we talked about. First of all, for, I think, the crash that's coming and some of the funny stuff going on, that you need supplies first, more important than any kind of crypto or any kind of fiat or any kind of precious metals. You need to have supplies up hand. Now, how long depends on how long you think the crash will be, but you need food, water. You need something to, if you don't have water stored, you need something to filter your water. You probably want some kind of portable power. A lot of companies make portable solar chargers, and they make power packs that have a couple, say like 2,000 kilowatts on them. But you're not going to be able to run your whole house on those portable units, but you can have some certain things put away. If you want to be extra safe, protect yourself from EMPs. There's a lot of companies make Faraday bags that you can stick some of these things in it. And so even if the grid goes down, you'll still have some power, especially if it's solar power. The sun will still be there. And then you need some cash. Some people say as much as a month's worth of living expenses. And that's hard for most families to do nowadays, but you should get at least some cash, in my opinion. Not financial advice, for the first little bit of a crash, of a grid down situation. And then you need cryptos and you need precious metals if we're going to be sustained for a while for the bartering aspect. I listed the cryptos I like: XLM, XRP, Litecoin, Bitcoin, and Theta, and then the precious metals that I like. Um, Junk silver will be easy to barter. Sovereign coins next, especially American Eagle. There's other silver will have value, but I mean, if grid's down and you're trying to convince somebody you want to, some groceries, you think a Santa Claus coin is going to be impressive? Well, they make those Santa Claus 1 ounce silver, but I don't think so. So now I am a ballet affiliate, and this is one thing that came out recently that I find is pretty nifty. It is a physical coin with the crypto wallet on the back side. Here is the front side of this coin. So that is 1 ounce of copper. It has 0.001 uh, BTC on it. So right now that is about 72 bucks. When they came out, they're just 47 bucks. So it went up quite a bit already. And that works like any ballet wallet does. They're hard, cold storage, and those are good in grid down because you don't need electricity. You have your numbers right there, so that's good. And here's the back side of that wallet. It looks like you have your public key there. You scan, and then you pull the sticker back, and that's your private key. So you scan the outside to send, pull the sticker back, and you have your private key inside. So ballet wallets are fun, and they do a good job of storing, but there's different situations that calls for different things. So I thank you for coming to my podcast today to watch. And none of this was financial advice, but things to think about. We have a lot of scenarios that sound biblical. The one that's a little bit freaky coming up is on April the 8th, there's going to be a solar eclipse. And this solar eclipse is going to come through Eagle Pass. Anything going on Eagle Pass lately you heard about? It's going to take a turn and go up and cut through the United States to up towards the northeast. And I don't know if you know the Bible, but Jonah would not go to the town of Nineveh. He wanted them to be destroyed, and God said, "No, you go to Nineveh." He did not. He was swallowed by some gigantic fish, maybe a whale. And then 3 days later, the fish got rid of him, and he changed his mind, and he preached to Nineveh, and they repented. Well, guess what this eclipse does? It goes through 7 towns of Nineveh. It also goes through the town of Jonah and the town of Ark. Okay. The last one in 2017 made a cross with this one, and it went through the towns of Salem, which is short for Jerusalem. And where they cross is at a Salem when these both cross. So interesting, if nothing else, don't you think? Coincidental? We shall see if it's coincidental. So anyway, I hope this podcast was beneficial. If you have any questions, please look below. I have a contest going on for when I get to 440 subscribers. I'm getting pretty close. I'm going to make it a ballet loaded card with about $7 on it now, and if Bitcoin keeps going, I'm going to cap that at $50, and I'm going to throw in a single goldback now for anybody in the continental United States. If you are not in the United States, then I will send you Bitcoin. We can do it through your public key. Thanks very much for coming today, and you have a good day, and happy St. Patrick's Day tomorrow. Goodbye.